Hey, this is Nathan with the Cornfed Coverage, and we also have.
I'm Chase.
Michael.
I was waiting
and
for
thanks
Michael
for
to.
tuning in. Sorry, guys. Just that was bad by me, but um, welcome to the Cornfed Coverage. And to start things off, let's go ahead and go right into the review of Nebraska versus Iowa. I thought it was a pretty good game overall, but we let them kind of crawl back into the game late, but shut them down in overtime. Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobson, really great play at the end, and then Jamarcus Lawrence to seal the deal. Um, I think overall it was just a really good team effort. I think they showed that they didn't, those seniors wanted to go out on top. They did not want to lose that last game, especially to Iowa. So I think it kind of helps raise us coming into the conference, turning off the triple bye. We play on Thursday, so we'll see who we match up against. But
Friday.
I think overall, Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think overall it was a great game. Could have seen a little bit better play in the first half, I would say, but overall nothing to really complain about. What did you guys think?
Yeah, nice
Go
gritty
ahead.
win on senior night, especially in that overtime. I thought it was Hoiberg and Jacobson that really cemented the win for us. And then nice for Sam Hoiberg there at the end of the game to give that press conference, just shouting out his dad and everything. And yeah, I thought the guys looked good. I thought it was a win we needed to do going into the postseason so that we don't get swept by Iowa. We have some momentum here because Um, kind of looking ahead at the bracket, we may have to play Purdue right away, and they're a tough team with shooters all around. So good to get this gritty win against an Iowa team that couldn't miss down the road. Like I thought we were gonna win the game, and then all of a sudden here comes Iowa. They make that three to tie it, um, but we regrouped, rebounded, and we kind of dominated the overtime period. What do you think of the game, Michael?
I mean, we're gonna call them the Iowa Hackeyes because they took that freaking L on their foreheads. But it felt really good to beat them at home, split the series instead of getting swept. Just like we talked about last week, Nebraska really needed to win this game. First off, we tied our school record for most wins in a season. Second off, we secured the triple bye, even though we didn't we secured it before the game. It's still good that we, won the game going
If we
into
would have
that triple
lost, we
bye.
I think if we would have lost that it would have given Wisconsin the triple bye.
We would have
No,
been
we locked it.
we would have been the four seed.
Yeah,
Hmm,
We went 1-0
but
against Wisconsin, so we had them on the tiebreaker.
yeah,
that's fair.
but
I thought I remembered
bes-
them saying something about it during the game.
yeah, but besides the point, uh, the fact that we won this game going into the triple bye is big for our confidence. It's not like we have to sit there with a loss for a week
Hmm.
instead of sitting there with the win and just being able to focus on who we're going to play next. Um, Rink kind of came into his game a little bit later. He made a couple of threes along with Jacobson. I mean, the entire team was shooting pretty well that second half. Uh, First half, we actually started out pretty strong. That was good to see, considering we didn't do that when we were at Iowa City. Um, but props to the seniors. They were able to walk out of PBA with the W and be happy with the mark they left on the program too.
Oh yeah,
Obviously, season's not over, but that had to feel good too. Um, I saw a stat that Sam Hoiberg is the only player or only senior on Nebraska that has been with the team his entirety of his basketball career or college basketball career. And I thought that was pretty cool as well. He got to do it under his father and uh, kind of leave a legacy. Just a kid from Lincoln as a walk on.
yeah.
Um, and now he's all Big Ten defensive team. Um, that's really cool. Price Sanford, he got all Big Ten first team honors.
Yeah.
So props to him. Rink mascot honorable mention. Fred Hoiberg, the man himself, got Big Ten Coach of the Year. So those are just a couple of the awards that happened after the Iowa game. But all in all, we ended the season on a W.
Hey. You can't forget Braden Frager, Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah.
And
freshman, all freshmen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully he stays.
If he stays, he's going to be good. But we'll
I
see
feel
what
like he will
the
after a
offseason
year
brings.
like this. And I bet we put
Yeah,
into
who
our
knows?
basketball team possibly after a year like this. Guess we'll see.
Well, and we re-signed Fred till the 2032 season.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the contract 3-year contract extension is huge too for Fred. I know we've got some.
How long was he under contract for?
We just extended him. I don't know if it was just out of the blue, but I didn't think his contract.
He's under
was
contract
up
until 2032 now. It's only 2026.
I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he likes it here.
Yeah. But all in all, good regular season so far, and now we get to be in the Big Ten tourney.
The regular season's over, Michael. It's postseason basketball. This is March. We're in conference tourney time. And that is actually a perfect segment to get into our next part of the show. We're going to go ahead and pick the Power 5 conference tourney championship games as well as the winners. So let's go ahead, and I'll have Chase, you can go ahead and just start with one conference, and then Michael, I'll let you take the next one.
All right. You guys wanted to save like Big Ten for last, or?
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Okay. I'll start with I'll go with the Big 12 here. I think Arizona is the best team in the Big 12 by a margin. So I'm just going to go with them over Kansas in the championship game. I think Kansas is an interesting team. If you're looking to bet on someone with value, they're like 10-1, and I think they've proven that they can beat any team in the Big 12. They could also lose to TCU in their first matchup. Wouldn't surprise me at all. They're very volatile, but I would like taking their upside. I think they kind of found something with having Peterson come off the bench, even though he might be arguably their most talented player. But they kind of got into rotation that way, and they've looked good down the stretch. But I think Arizona's too balanced. They're super good offensively, really good defensively. And I just don't really see them losing. I mean, it's always possible in these tournament games, but and then another long shot I would take in the Big 12, I think Iowa State kind of has the magic this year, and I could see them going on a little run. But what about you guys? So I got Arizona over Kansas is my pick.
I actually have Arizona versus Houston. I leaned away from Kansas just because they can be so up in the air sometimes.
They're a very volatile team.
Yeah, but when they're on for sure, and they've contended with some of the best teams in the country as well. And Allen Fieldhouse is just awesome to watch them playing, but they're not playing in Allen Fieldhouse. They're playing down in San Antonio. So
it's a fair point. A lot of their big wins are at home.
So I don't know. Arizona's good on the road. They've demonstrated that. I don't think they're going to really have an issue with not being able to play at home. Houston as well, same goes for them. But I think Arizona just outmatches Houston on the boards. So that's why I went with the Arizona Wildcats, or as on my sheet, I have the Wildcats of Arizona.
Nice.
What about you, Nathan?
So I have Arizona winning as well, but I have them beating Iowa State to win it. I just feel like Iowa State has been very, very sound coming down the stretch. They've dropped a couple games here and there, but it's not going to be enough to beat Arizona. I think as long as Arizona takes care of business, this is their tourney to take. A long shot, though, I do think that BYU could make some noise because they've shown that they can beat teams all throughout the conference as well as Houston.
They do have
so I do think that
they have arguably one of the best players in college basketball in Diabanza. So hopefully he
AJ
can.
DeBance's a dog.
They're up
Hopefully he
He's
can.
really freaking good.
K-State right now with 9 minutes to go.
They're what?
BYU's playing K-State right now. I have it on my TV. They're
Yeah.
up 5.
Oh, really?
9 minutes to go.
It's close. It's close, but if they can, I feel like if that team can make a run, I would be afraid. I would not want to play them in the semifinal if they're off of like a 3-game win streak.
Yeah, you never know. DeBoost, I can't pronounce names, but you know who
DeBanza.
Yeah. He might be the best player in the country, so yeah, he could carry a BYU team. You've kind of seen it before, but they do have a long path to go.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I have Arizona taking it over Iowa State in the championship game. Let's go ahead and dive into the SEC next. Michael, what do you think there?
I've got the Gators from the swamp of Florida facing the Razorbacks that roam around the beautiful land of Arkansas. First off, I feel like that's going to be, if that is the matchup, it's going to be an electric one. Arkansas has found their footing as of late. They kind of had a rough start to the season, just a tad, losing to teams they shouldn't have, but with being able to find their footing both at home and on the road late in the season, I think that'll be huge for them. But Florida is arguably just top notch. They're always on. There've maybe been a couple of games where one player, who was it? I think
They started out a little slow.
Like one of their guards is one of their best players, and when Florida gets locked down, he's not having a great night. They are able to switch to a different player and have him drive the offense, and they're relentless in the paint. So that's the reason why the matchup's going to be phenomenal. But I've got the Gators winning that game, winning the SEC championship. So, what about you, Chase? I know you've been heavy on Florida as of recently.
Yep. I also got Florida. I'm going to take them against Bama, but I do think it's kind of a 3-team race. If it wouldn't be Florida versus Bama, I would take Florida versus Arkansas like Michael has it. But I just think Florida's super good. Like I've talked about a little bit, they started a little slow. They had Clayton last year that was a senior, clutched up a lot. And I feel like they kind of had to adjust. They're led now by their 2 big guys down low. Their guards are starting to hit threes, and when they make threes, it's kind of over for other teams. Florida gets, I think this is a real stat, like 40% of their offensive rebounds. They are a nightmare down below, and now their guards have kind of come together. Like when they played Arkansas, they put up over 100. They played Bama, put up over 100. I think this is Florida's tournament to lose. No one on their side of the bracket really scares me. I think they'll handle Vanderbilt or Tennessee, whoever they end up playing. Yeah. And I think they'll handle Bama or Arkansas too. But I'll take Florida over Bama.
I like that. So we all kind of have the same thing going here. I agree with you, Chase. I think it's a 3-team race. I've got Florida versus Arkansas in the conference tournament game, and I have Arkansas upsetting Florida.
Ooh.
I'm going to be a little different here just because I believe it's Coach K down in, or not Coach K. Who's the coach of Arkansas? Yeah, it is Coach K. Yeah, he's the head coach of Arkansas, and I think that...
K, but...
No. But I think that Calipari's going to be good. And I think that Boogie Fland is going to be able to rise to the moment this year. So I kind of like them to beat Alabama in the semis and then to upset Florida in the championship game. Yeah, nobody on Florida's side really scares me, and it would not surprise me if Florida just won the tournament outright. They are the best team, and I believe they're favorites also. But with that, let's go ahead and segue into the Big East. Chase, do you want to go ahead and start with that one?
Yep. So this one's a little interesting in the way that's set up. It's played at Madison Square Garden, which is St. John's home court. They play every home game there. But then also UConn has a really big New York audience, I guess. So these are just going to be all home games for St. John's and UConn. They're on opposite sides of the bracket. So I think they're going to reach the finals.
Collision course.
I'm going to go with St. John's. They lost by like 20 or 30 points to UConn the last time they played. For some reason, I think they're both going to ride their home courts or their home field advantage. Then when they play in the championship, it'll be more split. I'll go with St. John's, and I'm a big fan of the legendary Rick Pitino, so I'll go with him. What about you guys?
I went with UConn versus Creighton.
Ooh.
Rooting for I know Creighton's a 6 seed in there,
Husker?
but they can I root for Nebraska teams.
Creighton
right?
made the Big
Like,
East championship last year.
Jay
and
Skur.
you know how good it would look if they made the Big East championship and Nebraska, like, obviously we beat them. So it's a red state by a mile. But yeah, I've got UConn versus Creighton, and I've got Creighton losing, UConn winning. Like Chase said, UConn's got a heavy New York scene. They're just a home court advantage anywhere they go in the Northeast. So
Yeah, I agree.
they're also
I
monsters
actually-
on the paint.
I'm right there
So-
with you, Michael. I have UConn winning the Big East as well. I have them over St. John's, not Creighton. I think that's probably going to be the best game of their conference tournament. Two best teams, basically a home field game for both teams. It can't get much better than that. And UConn lost on their senior night against Marquette.
Yeah.
So they're going to be pretty fired up.
I didn't really think about that. They're going to be coming in pissed off too. I was more the St. John's revenge factor, but
I do agree with you though, because I think that Rick Pitino's he probably coached those guys through hell and back right after losing by 20 to Hurley.
yeah,
They don't want to lose, not even to the greatest teams in the country. So I do have UConn over St. John's there. But, I think that I kind of think it's a 2-team race. I think Villanova could make some noise.
Yeah.
I'm not as confident in Creighton, I'm not going to lie. They're just not the team they have been in recent years.
yeah, kind of a down year for the Big East in general. They have like 3 tournament teams, I think, this year. Villanova and then
But
St.
it's
John's
okay.
and UConn.
It happens. I think Providence is going to fire their head coach, so they'll be renewed next year, and we'll see who can pump some money into each other. But with that, where do we want to go next? Do we want to go ACC?
ACC, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and give me Duke over Florida State.
I like that. I like the Florida State call. They're surging at the end.
I just think that Florida State's kind of coming around, and obviously Duke's the best team in the conference. So that's kind of my method for making my picks here. I just like the best team versus somebody who's getting hot at the right time. So give me Duke to win it, but I do think Florida State's going to put up a fight. So we'll see how that goes. But a dark horse for me, I think that I think they might have lost today, so I'm going to keep that one to myself, actually. So go ahead. Which one of you two want to start?
I think Duke's gonna win it. They're the best team in the con. I feel like I'm just taking all these favorites.
The favorites.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's like boring that way. If I was gonna choose someone, this is who I think Duke's gonna match up with in the championship is the 6-seeded Louisville. I think they're kind of underrated, and they're just really good on offense. So I could just see them like when they're making their threes, like you can't stop it. So I'll go Louisville to get hot. They're going to put up 90 in every game they play and maybe beat Duke.
I like it.
My official
like
pick is Duke over Louisville, though.
just for the record.
Yep.
You guys
Michael,
are.
what about you?
You guys are gonna be mind blown by what I have.
What did you cook up over there?
I've got University of North Carolina Tar Heels versus Miami Hurricanes. I have Duke getting upset by Miami, and then
I guess it did
Miami
happen once
versus
this year.
UNC. Then Miami plays UNC in the championship. Because Duke and UNC are on the opposite sides, so I was just, I don't know. I don't like Duke.
Oh,
I just
brother.
don't. I've never liked Duke. I don't know why. I haven't. But
That's
I
fair.
don't like Duke at all either, so.
It happens. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, I think UNC is going to beat Miami to kind of be a stunner out of the Power Five conference champions. Just because they're kind of underdogs. Like if you look at their odds, they're like fourth or fifth favorites to win the conference title.
Miami
So-
or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's because they did upset Duke, but then they lost the second matchup.
yeah.
So they've shown
But-
that gods can bleed.
I just think when they're on, and it's hard to stop.
I don't hate it. I mean, all these favorites, they're not all going to win. Like,
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them might have, but I can guarantee you not all 4 of these big dogs are winning. At least one of them won't.
No. I
agree.
wish we could still pick for the Pac-12.
Well, and like
Yeah.
Virginia's kind of like if Virginia and UNC wind up playing in the semis,
Mhm.
then that'll be a phenomenal matchup. But
I think Virginia's
I
well
can see-
coached and they rebound well, but they just need to
yeah,
score.
Virginia
Yeah.
would be my second pick.
They're just
and then
not consistent enough.
if I really had to, I would have Miami be my third pick.
I don't hate
So-
Miami. I kind of like them as a sneaky dog to win. They're like 20-1.
I would take North Carolina over Miami.
It's just hard for me to really see one of these teams beating Duke, but it is possible. So
No,
Very true.
but little sneaky matchup. Probably something not a lot of people are thinking about.
So then, for the next conference, do we have the Big Ten, or am I missing one?
I think just
It's the
the
Big
Big
Ten.
Ten, and then
All right. Let's go ahead and we'll do the Big Ten, and then the last one we'll do is the MAC tournament. So if we want, we can do the MAC first, and then we'll give our Big Ten picks.
yeah. I'll just go quick. I'll do MAC and Mountain West just because I do like the Mountain West Conference too.
Yeah, me too.
Little mid-major action.
I'll do the Coosa Mac West and American real quick.
CUSA.
Coosa.
Yakuza. But yeah, MAC, I'm just going to keep riding with Miami, Ohio. They've given me no reason to go against them. Sometimes it's like the trendy thing in like the betting community. It's like this is where we fade Miami, Ohio. They can't be this lucky all the time. And then I turn on their game and they just got shooters. They make threes when they got to make them. Maybe they're beating other bad teams by 2 or 3, but I think I don't want to go against them. I like the story too much. And then the Mountain West, I like New Mexico. The Lobos have always been good to me. They seem to get upsets when they make the March Madness tournament, so I'm rooting for New Mexico and the Mountain West.
I like that.
There we go. I've got Liberty versus Western Kentucky in the Conference USA, with the winner being Liberty, just because they're a good basketball school and they're always fun to watch. So went with Liberty. For the MAC. I actually have Miami, Ohio versus Ohio, and I've got Ohio winning in a revenge game over Miami, Ohio, and being able to take revenge in that OT loss they took this regular season.
Yeah, that game was
So,
crazy.
It was fun to watch though. Like that was electric. For the Mountain West, I've got Grand Canyon versus San Diego State, with San Diego State winning the ship. with the Aztecs being able to make it back to March Madness as well. So that'll, if that happens, that'll be cool to see. And then for the American, I've got South Florida versus Wichita State, with South Florida winning as well. So Bulls had a good football season. They're gonna have a better basketball season with punching their ticket. Uh, but yeah, now for the big one.
Hey.
What?
Slow your horses.
You didn't
My
say
MAC
anything about
tournament
your
pick.
picks.
No, I haven't given my picks yet, dingus.
Yeah.
Just slow your roll.
You just got to do his
So-
smaller conference picks.
Exactly. Thank you. My mid-majors matter too.
Mid-majors, that's...
So I think for the MAC tournament, I'm going to go against both of you, and I'm going to go Akron, who's the favorite.
Yeah.
I like the spoiler. Somebody's got to play villain. And I think that they have the right team to do so. They have only lost to Miami, Ohio this year. So we'll see kind of what that brings about. But then for the Mountain West, go ahead and give me Utah State. I think that they're a very sound team. San Diego State and New Mexico are both formidable, but give me Utah State. For whatever reason, I just like them. I like the favorite. Give me the favorite. But then kind of like what Michael was talking about, let's go ahead and get into the Big Ten pick. There's probably, I think it's a 4 or 5 team race. This might be one of the races that anybody could make it to the final, but there probably is a favorite once you get there. I personally think it's going to be Nebraska versus Michigan. I think Nebraska is going to be able to overcome a loss we had earlier this season that kind of set us on a little bit of a downwards decline for a couple of games. We were without our top 3 players. We were in Ann Arbor. I think that we're going to be able to come off this Iowa win and be able to play sound basketball and really execute the plays that we need to be able to come out on top in each matchup we have. But what about you guys?
Yeah, this will be the one where I don't take the big favorite. I don't got Michigan. Unfortunately, I don't have our Huskers either. I'm going to go with Michigan State over Illinois in the championship game. I think Illinois is going to get hot against Michigan just for whatever reason in the semifinal game. Michigan kind of bullied Illinois the first time around, and Illinois wasn't making shots. This time, I think the shots go in, and Illinois upsets Michigan. And then the other semifinal game for our Big Ten, I do have Nebraska beating Purdue, and then I have us facing Michigan State. Just losing a close one. I don't know why. I just have a feeling that Tom Izzo has them playing well. I think Michigan State has a good rhythm right now. And then I think Michigan State...
Dirty players.
Yep.
Jeremiah Fears.
Jeremy Fears.
You guys might not like the pick, but...
No, sir.
Just going with what
I respect it.
I think Michigan State matches up really well then against Illinois in the championship game. Illinois did the dirty work, upsets Michigan in my prediction. So Michigan State gets it done in one of Tom Izzo's last years of coaching, possibly. I see him retiring in the next 3 years or so.
Dang. That'd be sad.
Yeah.
Hopefully not. He's a legend.
Yep.
So I've got Michigan playing Wisconsin on their side of the bracket, with Michigan beating Wisconsin in a close one. And then on our side, I've got Nebraska beating Purdue, and I've got Nebraska beating UCLA, pulling off the upset over Michigan State. And so then I think Nebraska gets revenge on UCLA in the semis, being able to show the real team that we are versus a rejuvenized UCLA team. And then I've got, like I said, Michigan beating Wisconsin. So then it's Nebraska versus Michigan, right? Nebraska gets a chance to do what nobody thought, get back on that Michigan loss when, like Nathan said, we weren't to our full power. And it would be really cool and for Nebraska and Fred Hoiberg and the team to pull that out, you know. Um, and if we do become Big Ten champs, I think that would kind of secure Nebraska as like a 2 or a 3 seed on March Madness to further amplify or kind of give us a better draw.
I was thinking, would that be enough to get us into that 2 seed? Because I think right now we're 3 seeded
We're
with
like
projections on seed.
3-4.
Yeah. So I
think that would be an upset win over Michigan in the conference title game would be enough to raise us. I think that's another quad 1 win.
Mm-hmm. Kind of matters what other teams do then too, because other teams on the 2 line are like Illinois right now. So if Michael's prediction, Illinois loses to Wisconsin, Nebraska wins the Big Ten, we could flip spots with them.
On Wisconsin making the semis, I think would influence their chances of making it into March Madness. Yeah. While we also keep, Michigan State, Illinois, Nebraska, Michigan, obviously. So I think that would strengthen the Big Ten's chances of having more teams in. Because I think Wisconsin is close to that first 4 out or last 4 in.
They'll be in. It's Ohio State's kind of the one.
Or that's right.
Yeah. Iowa's in, UCLA's in.
Mm-hmm. I think Ohio State.
There'll be
Indiana. I think Ohio State. I think if Ohio State could be
the winner of
Iowa,
Ohio State, Indiana, whoever goes farther in the Big Ten will make it. I think.
Yeah, I think Ohio State.
I actually do think the Big Ten is one of the most. I think everyone seed 1 through 7 could win it. So anyone between Michigan and Purdue. I do think Nebraska does have a shot. I think if sometimes we just go in phases or spurts where we're just like not scoring any points. I'm not worried about our defense. I'm not worried about our effort. Those are always there. It's just like when Sanford's hot and he's making his threes and Mast is taking his shots and Hoiberg is a sneaky good shooter too. So I hope to see him put up more shots too, because sometimes I feel like he only does it like when he's open or he gets that hard transition play. So I want to see him shooting more threes too. But when we're scoring, I think we could win the Big Ten for sure, because our defense will be there. And if we're hot, then we're a hard team to beat.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's why I picked them. I think we're going to do it. I think this is our year. But with that, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about before we wrap up?
Oh, not necessarily. Selection Sunday this Sunday, so we're gonna have a bracket here in less than a week.
Yep. Sure. This time next week, we will be looking at the March Madness bracket, and we hope you come back to watch with us and dissect it, pick all the upsets, and hopefully make that perfect bracket. Yeah. Feel free to comment who you think is going to win the Big Ten men's basketball tournament, as well as why you think they're going to win it. Thanks for watching. This has been the Cornfed Coverage. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe the video. But I'm Nathan.
I'm Chase.
And I'm Michael. And we hope you all have a great evening.
GBR.
Thanks.
GBR.
Have a good night.